YouTube. The Who's in the house apparently. I'm at Gibson and Epiphone, and if you're asking yourself, why the fuck are you at Gibson and Epiphone after you said all the time Gibson sucks? Well, management changed. With that, an attitude changed. Apparently, I've heard, not confirmed yet, but I've heard, and I'm truly hoping that also production methods and production quality has changed. If that's true, that's something we should be looking at. Also, the fact that in our big Les Paul shootout at Thomann, in the highest quality range, undoubtedly the guitar that was the one that impressed us the most was a Gibson. You know, that changed something in my head a little bit. So, not saying it's the best company in the world yet, but maybe we'll look at some. Let's give them some screen time and see where this goes, okay? Let's go. So Gibson, and we're looking at Kramer's because apparently that's part of the company. This is a seafoam blue polka dot. How 80s can a guitar be? And look at the pickup placement. It's two humbuckers, but one in the middle and one in the back. Floyd that doesn't bend up too much. Very strange. And there's a guitar back there with three humbuckers and a star on it, which is kind of, and stars in the, kind of like a Richie Sambora tribute, because I think that's kind of like Richie Sambora always had stars in the fretboard. See what that one's called. It's the Jersey Star Alpine White. Hey, Cheddar Kung Pao behind the camera, do you have any idea how much these are?
No clue.
No clue. Cheddar is of no help whatsoever. So, Kramer, we gotta go. There's a lot of guitars here, so we're gonna go a little bit faster. I always had trouble with Epiphones because my students came in with Epiphones. They had dead frets, unpolished frets. They had frets where two frets next to each other sounded the same. The quality control was not good. I'm truly hoping that things change with the new management, and we will see. Now this is the limited Ed Matt. See, that's I don't understand. It says Ed Matt Heafy. Is his name Ed Heafy or Matt Heafy?
I think it means edition.
Do you think or you know?
Limited edition.
But it could be limited. Ed Heafy and Matt is his middle name.
Okay, like I can't deny that.
Yeah, I think my logic is true. Well, Ed clearly has style. White EMGs, white binding on a white guitar, white fretboard, which is strange because it's lacquered, white everything except for white tuners. Why no white tuners? And it's a 7-string in a Les Paul shape. Hey, this is the one room where I'm actually really allowed to say Les Paul. I mean, I say it everywhere, but here it actually applies. See, this hook guy is also called Ed.
Yeah, maybe they only endorse people named Ed.
That is very, very possible. So we have to change our name. No, see, the Lizzie Hale Explorer, the Liz, what? Is it Lizzie? I don't understand who makes these things. Interesting, and red and white is clearly a thing, even though, and there's more white, but then there's Big Ass and Perloid. Dave Root likes white and red. Way to go, Dave. Not you, Dave, but you, Dave. Interesting. If you were expecting actual coverage from me, from Gibson, you don't know my channel. Please don't watch this if you're expecting me to know anything about Gibson guitars, because I don't. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's a clear nod to what PRS is doing with the color, but I have seen that Gibson has embraced colors lately. So let's look at some of them. That was all Epiphone. We're going for Gibson now. It's very cool because they've got luthiers here showing things they do on the guitars, custom shop stuff, and they're actually taking you a little bit behind the process. which is pretty damn cool. So when they're talking about, you know, handcrafted, he's not CNCing that shit. That's handcrafted, right?
Yeah, it doesn't come more handcrafted, I don't think.
Yeah. Actually taking your hands to the wood, and not the way I do it, but the way, you know, he does it daily. Because you don't want to see what I do. You want to see what he does with his hands in the wood.
Absolutely.
That's pretty stunning.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let me be straight into your face.
Yeah.
How often do you fuck this up and you have to start over?
I have never, ever done that. I've never had to start over.
Really?
Uh-uh.
Do you... What if... I mean, you've never, like, gone through a line where you shouldn't have gone, and then, well, now it's going to be a different design.
Absolutely. That could happen. I mean, if these are pretty delicate, if I happen to peel a pedal, something was cracking there I didn't know about or whatever, and a pedal peel, I'd just make that flower tip a little more or cup a little more.
I mean, it's wood. It's unpredictable.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely my design, so nobody knows what that flower looks like till it's done.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you have my deepest respect. I can't draw a stick figure to save my life, so this is beyond art for me. Go play with your wood again.
Oh, thank you.
Moving on. He's got a good job playing with wood all day long. I know it's not funny, but we still try. Now look at that. I don't know what they're doing here, but isn't that beautiful? You know, I mean, yeah, there's sunburst and there's yellow and there's honeyburst and lemon burst. I like a good blue. I don't know where to go. There's just so many guitars and so many people. So. Here's another Workstation 5 where you see someone working on inlays and pick guards and doing really intricate work on, you know, some very high-priced instruments. Like this. Ow! I just kicked something. Ow. So that's what that guy does. That's pretty incredible. I mean, not something that makes the guitar sound better, but something that drives the price up and something you might want because it's pretty. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, he does this kind of stuff. And apparently that is done by hand. What a crazy guitar. That's probably old. What do we have here? Yeah. That'll really sell with those knobs. That's okay. So here we're looking at custom shops, and I saw a video from Thomann. I think it was Thomann, where they're going into how amazingly close they are to the originals. I wouldn't give a flying rat's ass how close the switch chip or whatever, or the electronics are to the originals, because you know what, back in the day, maybe those guitars weren't the greatest guitars in the world. I think we can make better guitars now than we could make back then. Why try to make guitars exactly like then? I don't know, I don't get it. A good guitar is a good guitar. And the R8, oh my God, is this loud. The R8 that I played at Thomann was absolutely amazing. So what do we have here? 58 Les Paul reissued. So technically 58, as Andy taught me, is an R8. They are plainer. The 59s, as Stefan taught me, thank you Stefan, are no different from the 58s, except for a more figured top and a higher price range. I might be completely wrong about that. I just go by what people tell me. This is loud. So I played one of those 58s at Thomann, Stefan's personal one, and it was a pretty amazing instrument. And I'm not a Gibson fanboy, so I'm saying that because it was an amazing instrument. So here we are at the 59s, and you can see the colors are the frickin' same. It's a Les Paul like the other Les Pauls, but the tops are more figured. They're still not PRS figured. They're still not, oh my God, look at that grain. But they're pretty nice. So, okay, moving on. Oh, I like this. This, to me, looks like a Huber Crowdster. The idea of a flat top. What do we have in the back? You know, if these had maple necks, that's pretty much a Crowdster approach. This is a Les Paul special double cut Forget maple top. Obviously, oftentimes, if we look at the pricing on this, many of you will go like, nah, it's a little bit high. We're still kind of waiting on Gibson to, you know, have a little bit more realistic pricing. Because just saying it's Gibson isn't enough, I think. But to many of you it is. To many of you it's, oh wow, that's all I need to know. So here, that is pretty freaking stunning. One-piece figured maple top and back. So with Gibson and this wooden trim and the one-piece top, that's way past 10 grand. Way. I know. Too bad, because that's pretty stunning. And look at the back. Yeah, and actually that's probably about 15. What do you think, Dave? How much?
15.
15. Probably. You know, for someone on the wall. I'm not into this. To me, that looks a little bit cheap. Even though it's not, it's very, very intricately done. This, without the butterflies, I would like. But again, that's all personal stuff. Now this, I totally like. They have something in the grain here. A big thing in the grain, and they used it, and then they put bows on it. This is cool. And here you can see what the guitar looks like when the guy that plays with his wood is done with it. Look at this. How much do you think, Dave?
9, 10?
Probably. Well, look at the Kraken. That's also kind of cool. And I love... that's like a spear. Look at this. That's kind of cool. With the resin. That is very, very... It is called the Kraken. Why is there a double knob on this? And it's aged in the back. That's kind of like, okay. Well, they're definitely showing some interesting things. Let's see where the new management takes them. Let's see where the pricing structure ends up. And maybe, if they're willing to work with some social media people and others and my buddies, maybe we'll see some actual reviews where we're able to talk about the quality and some things that are changing in the company. I'm not holding my breath, but if it's happening, I'm totally willing to, forgive and forget what happened with Henry. Let's see. Are you willing to forgive and forget what happened with Henry, Cheddar?
Yep.
Cool. So we're in Gibson. If you're in, Animals at the end.
You a child, river out of Eden. Your waters drift apart. You brought a new life. It came into this world.